This story comes from miles and miles away, at a place called Baghdad. In fact, it's travelled so far and so old, I'm not sure how much is true, but I do know that there was a porter, a man who would carry things around. A porter, his name was Sinbad, and this porter would tell stories, sing songs, poetry, in exchange for food or coins and so on. And one day, our friend Sinbad is called to a palace. Well, almost a palace, a great house, built of white and wine-coloured marble. And sat out on the steps, just by a vine, is an old man. And this old man asks Sinbad, to tell us a poem. And so Sinbad tells this very special poem. Oh, I have carried golden treasure half across Arabia's sands, and I have seen the cost of pleasure pouring out of rich man's hands. But do not think of me as rich, sir, because I carry treasured chests, for I count myself much richer when I lay them down and rest. I am just a poor young porter. All my meat is caught from rivers. All the wines I drink are water. All I carry, I deliver. The old man clapped. Very good, very good. I will pay for this first, that poem, but not with money alone. I myself have a story to tell as well. Interesting your name is Sinbad, because it's my name as well, said the old man. In fact, when I was young like you, I used to like telling stories and working my way around places. I decided when I was about your age to become a merchant, a sailor. I'd always wanted to be a sailor. Always wanted to travel the seas, see new lands, learn new things. And, one of the main reasons I wanted to be a merchant. So I knew if I was a successful merchant, I would be rich in my old age. And so I bought myself a silk-sailed ship, filled it full of the best goods I could afford, and set off sailing to make my fortune. I got together a crew, a captain, and had a fairly pleasant time, but after a few days on the first voyage, everyone was getting a bit seasick, a bit worried, a bit wavy, spending all the time out on the tides. And so we decided the next island we would see, we would stop, make camp, spend some time on land. And so there came a day when we spotted in the distance a grey, rocky sort of island. We sailed closer, we anchored the boat, we came off, we lit a fire, built a camp. It was a very, very strange island, very smooth and grey all around, with trees growing, plants in the distance. A few of us decided to get out and explore. So we did. We broke out from camp and searched around the entire island. Quite a strange island, made of sort of one great big hill, topped with palm trees. As we climbed up the hill to go and see the palm trees, maybe to get a few coconuts and other things like that, we noticed something. There was sort of a mist coming out from the top of the island, like a geyser, like a water volcano. It started off very small, but then got bigger and bigger and bigger, like a great big shower of water spitting out. It was then we realised we weren't on an island. The island was moving. We ran back towards the camp, back as quick as our feet could take us, because this was no island. No island. This was a huge grey whale that had been asleep for 100 years. We could hear the far distant cry of the ship's captain, "All aboard! All aboard!" The fire that had been lit had woken up this monstrous leviathan, and we had to rush as quick as we could. But it was no good. The whale had awoken. It lifted its huge sail of a tail and smacked it back in the water. The ripples caused our ship, the captain, the silk sails and all the goods, whoosh, to disappear over the horizon. Many sailors fell. All the trees fell like matchsticks as the whale started to plunge deep down below. I escaped. Luckily, there was a barrel of washing, old smelly underpants, but I clung to it for dear life. Others were not so lucky. Others were taken down by the whale to where only fish can breathe. And I still weep tears for those people now. I clung as tight as I could onto the barrel. The rhythmic rocking of the seas and all the energy I had spent left me a tired husk of a man. I gripped on tight, fell fast asleep. When I awoke, I was on a beach, the barrel a few feet away from me. My feet sore, as if they'd been nibbled by the very fish in the sea. I sat up, looked around, made sure it was real sand, realised I was on an island, on my own. I looked up and down the beach, not another soul, no living beast, no man, no woman. I decided to head inland a bit. I wandered through the jungle. Still no sign, no, not even the chirrup of birds or the rustling of leaves from small mammals. I decided to climb a tree. I headed up and up and up the tree and looked around, over to the east. Nothing. To the west. Nothing. When I saw ahead of me a wondrous sight. A huge white dome. Surely a mosque. Well, where there would be a mosque, there would be a town. A city maybe, a splendid city. So I came down from the tree and headed on towards the direction of the huge dome I had seen. After a short while, I came across the dome. Smooth like alabaster. Pure white. I searched around but couldn't find a door. No door to get in. I sat down, amazed and perplexed. What on earth is going on? When all of a sudden, the light went. The sun disappeared. I was plunged into darkness. Now, I have seen sunsets. I have seen the times when the moon gets confused and blocks out the sun. But this was something else. This was no ordinary eclipse. I looked up and saw a horrendous sight. A huge bird. Huge? Huge isn't big enough a word. Its claws were like elephant tusks. Its toe was as thick and gnarled as a tree trunk. Its wings as huge as my terror. Its feathers as black as my fate. I realised this was not a dome. This was an egg. And the parent of what lived in the egg was above. And slow and certain as night follows day, the huge bird was wheeling down towards me. And what happened? Well, my friends, I am hungry. It's time for lunch. After lunch, I'll tell you what happened. And I'll also tell you what happened to me in the Valley of the Diamonds. But right now, time for a sandwich.